guys, my name is Dilip Dwivedi and I'm from English Arena. Now in this video we are going to talk about present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense. So before we start the lesson, first let's talk about the pronunciation for this word. So guys, this word is pronounced as continuous, right? I've heard many people they pronounce this word as continuous. So it is not continuous, it's continuous, okay? And this word is pronounced as perfect, okay? It's not perfect, perfect. So we're going to talk about present perfect continuous tense. Now before we start the lesson, let's talk about the helping verbs for some basic information. So in present perfect continuous we use has been and have been, okay? Has been and have been. Now we use has been with he, she, it, or any name. So it can be anyone's name, maybe my name, your name, my friend's name, my father's name. So it can be anyone's name, right? So name or with the singular subject. So singular subject, that means let's say that my friend, okay, his brother or your wife, something like this. So whenever you talk about just one person with he, she, it, or any name, or with one person, you use has been. So let's say like this: he has been, she has been, it has been, John has been, and his friend has been. All right, now let's talk about the have been. So we use have been with I, we, you, they, or with plural subjects, third person plural. So like third person plural, like let's say children or women or doctors or players, okay? So whenever you talk about more than one person, okay, whenever you talk about plural like plural things, there you use have been. So I have been, you have been, they have been, we have been, children have been. All right, so has been and have been. Guys, in present perfect tense we use the ing form of the verb, like the first form plus ing, base form plus ing. You can also say the present progressive form, okay? So let's say like go, went, gone, going. So we use going. Drive, drove, driven, driving. So we use driving. Or write, wrote, written, writing. So we use writing, the ing form of the verb. So helping verbs has been and have been. He, she, it, or with any name we use has been, and with I, we use they, we use have been, and we use ing form of the verb with present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. Now let's talk about some examples here. So I have written two examples for you. So she has been, okay guys, so if you see that I've written here she has been, because with he, she, it, or any name we use has been. So she has been working, ing form, right? Work, worked, worked, working. So she has been working here for 10 years. She has been working here for 10 years. Or I have been teaching. So if you say I, when you say I, with I, we use they, what do? You use have been. So it should be I have been working here, sorry, I have been teaching English since 2010. Okay, so guys, did you notice one thing here? Here I have used since, and here it's for. So I will talk about like when do we use since and when do we use for. All right guys, now give me just 10 seconds. I'll be back and I'll talk about the usage and the formulation. How do we make sentences in present perfect continuous tense? All right, thank you very much for being here, and it seems that you want to learn present perfect continuous tense. Thank you. So let's proceed. So guys, now I'm going to talk about usage, like when do we use present perfect continuous tense. So guys, we use present perfect continuous tense to talk about an action that started sometimes in the past, and it is still continued, it is still going on. So let's say that you started a job, let's say in the past, and you're still doing it. Okay, you're still doing it, that job is still continued, and you're also talking about the time, right? Like when did you start that job? When did you start that job? Or for how long have you been working on that job? For how long that job is going on? Getting my point? So either you talk about the period of time, that means let's say 10 years, 5 years, 2 days, 3 days, 5 hours, or you talk about the point of time, okay, like when did you start the job, the point of time, let's say you say at 8 a.m. sorry, since 8 a.m. or since Monday, since 2010 or since 2014. So let's talk about the like since and for. So guys, these are the preposition. Now we use for when we talk about the period of time, the period of time. So let's take an example, 10 years, for 10 years, or for 3 days, or for 5 hours. Okay, so whenever you talk about the period of time, like how long that work has been that work has been going on, okay, so there you use for. So when you say 5 hours, 5 hours is a period, it's a period of time, right? So there you use for. And when you talk about the point of time, the exact time, let's say at 8 a.m. okay, so I have been waiting for him since 8 a.m. okay, so there you use since, let's say Monday, okay, or you say 2016. okay, so with these type of words you use since, and with period of time you use for. okay, right? I hope that you have understood it. All right, now let's talk about the formulation. How do we make sentences? How do we formulate the sentences? All right, so take an example here. If I say that he has been playing cricket for 2 hours, let's say that he has been playing cricket for 2 hours. okay, so guys, just see here, 2 hours is a period of time. That's the reason for has been used here. I have used for. okay, so this is one of the examples here. So how do we start? So what is the formulation? So we start with subject, which is he, then we use has been or have been. okay, has been or have been, that depends. okay, so that depends on subject. If the subject of your sentence is he, she, it, or any name, you use has been. Then you use or if the subject of your sentence is I, we, you, they, you use have been. So subject, then the helping verb, that can be either has been or have been. Then you use the ing form of the verb. okay, the ing form of the verb, right? Let's say going, writing, speaking. All right, and if there is any object, you use the object, and after that you use since or for, and then you use that time. okay, you use that time. okay, this is how the sentences are formulated. So subject, then has been or have been, then ing form of the verb, then the object, if there is any object in the sentence, then since or for. That depends. If you're talking about since 8 a.m. you say since 8 a.m., since Monday, since 2015. And when you are talking about the period of time, you say for 10 hours, for 2 hours, for 3 days, for 3 years. okay, and then here you mention the time. It could be like at 8 a.m., since 8 a.m., or for 3 days. okay, this is how the sentences are formulated. Let's go for another example here. okay, let's go for another example. So if I say that they, now with they we use have been, right? We use have been. So they have been, okay, working. Let's say they have been working on this project. They have been working on this project for okay, 2 years, right? They have been working on this project for 2 years. okay, 2 years is a period of time. That's the reason for has been used. okay, now let's go for another example. So if I say that she, now with she, with he, she, it's, or any name, we use has been. So it would be she has been cooking since 7 p.m. let's say she has been cooking since 7 p.m. Now here 7 p.m. is a point of time. That's the reason the since preposition has been used. All right guys, so this is how the sentences are formulated. Okay, now give me just a few seconds. I'll be back and I'll talk about the negatives and interrogative, like how do we formulate the negatives or interrogative sentence. All right guys, thank you very much for staying here. Now let's talk about the negatives and the interrogative sentences, the questions and interrogative. So let's read this example. It says he has not been working for 3 months. That means he doesn't have any job at this point of time. He has not been working for 3 months. So how do we make sentences? We start with subject, then we use has or have, then we use not, then been, then the ing form of the verb, and then object, and then we use time. Okay, we use it with either with since or for, that depends. All right, so he has not been working here for 3 months. Okay, or he has not been working for 3 months. Now when you talk about the questions, we start our sentence with has or have, that depends on your subject. Then we use subject, and then we use been, and then ing form the verb, object, and the time with since or for. Let's take an example here. Have you been waiting for him for 2 hours? Have you been waiting for him for 2 hours? Okay guys, so this was all about for present perfect continuous tense. We use present perfect continuous tense to talk about an action that started sometime in the past and that's still going on, and you have the time. Okay, you have the time. It could be a period of time or it could be a point of time. With the point of time we use since, and with period of time we use for. Okay, the helping verbs are has been or have been. Has been, the word has been is used with he, she, it, or any name, or with one person, and have been is used with I, we, you, they, or maybe with plural. Okay, in present perfect continuous tense we use the ing form of the verb. All right, I hope that you have understood it guys, but again if you have any problem, okay, I would suggest you to please leave a comment here. I'll try to answer your question. In fact, I will try to make another video on that. Okay, thank you very much. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, and yes, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe my channel. Thank you very much guys, happy learning, and see you in the next video. Okay, bye bye.